session, DIH for Industry, the DIH network for the manufacturing industry, belonging to the manufacturing track. Sylvia, please check if the attendees number are increasing, so we could also wait 1 or 2 minutes more if you see that the number of attendees is moving.
Okay, I think that we can start.
Okay. So welcome everybody. These are the rules for all the sessions in this EBDVF 2020. And please, for any need, please contact me or Sylvia, my colleague Sylvia. We are doing this session thanks to the sponsors, and among these sponsors, you can see also the AI Regio project. And the AI Regio project is an innovation action in Horizon 2020, which started of October. And these are the panelists, but I will introduce them one by one afterwards. Just some background about our session. The background is that we are going to build a new initiative, which is called the DIH4INDUSTRY, in order to coordinate and harmonize different digital innovation hubs initiatives. DIH stands for Digital Innovation Hubs, sorry, which are focusing on the manufacturing industry. And this is important, and it is at the moment several DIH initiatives are running, but they are more or less independent, and they are doing very interesting things, but not at the moment in a coordinated and harmonized way. Our aim is to accomplish the words of Günther Oettinger 4 years ago, when he said that any industry in Europe, big or small, wherever situated and in any sector, can fully benefit from digital innovation. And as a matter of fact, this was also reiterated by Thierry Breton, who is the father of the EU data strategy, which was published in February 2020, and also the EU artificial intelligence white paper, which means that the European businesses and our many SMEs to assess this data and create value for Europeans. So there is a strong relevance, a strong attention at the level of European Commission for the manufacturing industry, and in particular SMEs, could assess, use, and adopt a benefit from digital innovation. And in order to do that, the European Commission developed a program, a focus area inside the ICT, the DG Connect Work program, which refers to support to hubs. And a digital innovation hub is the means that will allow to implement this vision. That is SMEs, and in particular manufacturing SMEs, to be able to be aware, to use, to experience, to adopt and to roll out the digital innovations. This session has been supported by the AI Regio Innovation Action. AI Regio Innovation Action is a new innovation action in the I4MS program, and it is involving 13 regions and their digital innovation hubs. It will put in place 64 technological assets, and it will run 17 SME-driven experiments. And please be aware that we will also run open calls for manufacturing SMEs, and the first open call will be launched about in mid 2021. The community that we are mobilizing include also I4MS, which is ICT Innovation for Manufacturing SMEs, and it is a program inside Horizon 2020, and Smart Anything Everywhere, which is another program focalizing more on smart and embedded systems. And all of that will be coordinated and managed by a new initiative we are launching today, indeed, and you will see it in one of the presentations, which is going to be a community, an innovation and collaboration platform, a marketplace where all the digital innovation hubs working in the domain of manufacturing industry could have their own exchange knowledge, exchange data, and exchange lesson learned. This session is centered around 4 main presentations. First presentation is from the European Commission. In particular, I thank very much Elena Rodriguez to be with us today and to explain us DIHs for manufacturing industry and the European DIH initiative. And I invite now Helena to unmute herself and to share her screen.
Good morning to everyone. So I will share my screen.
Okay, in the meantime, I will read a motto that Elena wrote, and she said, for Europe to remain competitive internationally, all economic sectors must be able to reap the benefits of digital transformation. Building on a European network of digital innovation hubs, the Commission aims to help companies improve their processes, products, and services through the use of digital technologies. Elena, the floor is yours.
Okay, so can you see my screen, the presentation?
Yes, yes, we can.
Yeah, okay, perfect. So good morning to everyone. First of all, I would like to thank Sergio for the invitation to do this presentation about the EDIH initiative for manufacturing. My name is Elena Rodrigues, as Sergio already introduced me. So I work for the European Commission. I work in DG Connect, and I'm a program officer in Unit A2, that is the unit responsible for the European Digital Innovation Hubs. So I would like to start by doing a reflection with you why it's a key priority for the Commission from Europe to the digital transformation. So Sergio already explained, or he gave a very good introduction about the why we have these initiatives of the European Digital Innovation Hub. So I have my life now a bit easier now at the beginning, and I can go a bit quicker. So as you can see here, this is data from 2019, and we can see that we have big difference across Europe, or depending on the size of the company, on the sector, and on the country itself. And what we want to reach with this initiative is to minimize this difference and these big gaps between companies, SMEs, large companies, between countries and different sectors. Here you have a view, so it's the same, the data from 2019, and you see the difference per country. You can see, for example, Denmark, that is very high, has a very high level of digitalization in general, of course, and you see Greece on the other side that is has still a lot to improve. So the digital transformation brings a lot of opportunities for everyone, small and big companies, as I said already. But for some companies, it's very difficult to know at the beginning where they should invest, especially for SMEs. They don't know which technologies they should buy, and they don't know, or for them it's difficult to have access to investment to help them to buy the equipment and the technology that they need. So these four services that you see here in this graph, it's the service that the European Digital Innovation Hubs will provide to help the SMEs and the public sector as well to reach the digital transformation. So the first service, Test Before Invest, So the EDIH will help. So EDIH stands for European Digital Innovation Hubs. So the EDIH will help the companies to have access to the technology that they need to test and experiment that technology before they decided to acquire it. Another service is the support to find investment. So the EDIH will help these entities to prepare good business models, to business process, to help them to go to the private investors and have funds. Another service important is the innovation ecosystem and the networking. So to create a good network between the suppliers and the needs, the local needs and the needs of these entities at the regional, at country level. Another service is to provide skills and training. So organize, for example, training courses that will be accessible for all the workers in SMEs that need to learn how to use a new machine, a new technology. So with this slide, I will just focus on the two first boxes that we have, that it's the two big funding programs that we will have in the next multi-annual financial framework that will start next year. And these are the two main funding programs for the European Digital Innovation Hubs in manufacturing and in general. So the first program is the Horizon Europe, and it's the continuation of the Horizon 2020 that we had till this year in the current MFF. The Horizon Europe, it will be a continuation of the H2020, and we will have a topic for I4MS 2.0, and it will be very similar as we have now, because we will have a specific budget allocated for cascade funding, so to help SMEs through the project as we have now. This is a big difference that we have for the new program, that is the second box, the Digital Europe program. This is the new program, DEP, that it will support the European Digital Innovation Hubs. And the big difference is that with the DEP, we want to support and to fund the personal costs and the facilities of the European Digital Innovation Hubs. And then they will have the means to help and to support the SMEs. But we will not fund directly the SMEs, as we are doing now in H2020, and we will do in Horizon 2020. This is really the big difference. Then the principle of the European Digital Innovation Hubs inside the DEP program, it's co-financing, means that the European Commission will fund 50% of the eligible costs, and the member state will fund the other 50%. And to fund the 50% from the member states, they can use the regional funds. So as we are very in close collaboration with the member states to define the entities that can apply then for our call at the European level. First of all, the member state has to define at a national level what are the entities, the European Digital Innovation Hubs, or the entities that then will be able to apply for the European call, to be able to become an European Digital Innovation Hubs. But I will explain this later. I would just want for you to retain now that it's very important, the work that we are now doing together with the member states to define together the potential European Digital Innovation Hubs. Then only these entities will be able to apply next year to the European call to become EDIH. Now, talking about the budget for the Digital Europe program, for the new program then. So the original proposal that the Commission asked was 9.2 billion in total, but we know already that we will have a cut in principle, a cut of 17.5%. It's still under discussion, and we are still waiting to have the approval of the MFF. And as you can see here from the graph, for digital transformation and interoperability, we will have 1.3 billion less the cut, of course. And it's inside the digital transformation that we will have the European Digital Innovation Hubs. So the way that we see the organization of the European Digital Innovation Hubs, we see really a networking, a very dynamic way of working between all the EDIH, and they should transfer expertise between them. So each country will decide what are the entities, the consortiums that will be able to submit proposals at European level to become an EDIH. So then the Commission will open the call the beginning of next year, and then a second call at the end of 2021, and only these entities will be able to apply. And then each country and each region, this is our aim, it's that each country, each region will have a specific EDIH, and each EDIH should be focused on one key technology or two, but it's impossible to have the knowledge in all the key technologies. So that's why we think that the best way to work is to create this networking and transfer of expertise. So I'm an SME in one region, and I need to have access to a technology that the EDIH in my country, in my region, doesn't have this knowledge. I can go, so the local EDIH will help me to go to another EDIH to learn from them. So I'm an SME, I can go and learn from another EDIH, even if this EDIH it's not one in my region. So we really want to create a very dynamic networking and a very dynamic way of work. Here, when I'm talking about SMEs, I'm also talking about the public administration, because we want also to have a digital transformation in the public administration. So to dynamize all this networking of the EDIH, we will have the Digital Transformation Accelerator, that it will be a central node that will animate all the network by organizing networking events, organizing training for hubs, share the best practices. They will create an interactive map of digital capacities, etc. We believe that with the creation of the European Digital Innovation Hubs, we will create a European added value, as I already mentioned before. So we want that an SME will have access to expertise and facilities that are not available locally. They can go to another EDIH in another region. And we want also to help that an SME will have access to other markets and to develop EU chain values, so to find another markets, international markets. We want that the EDIH will exchange expertise, good practice. A more mature DIH will help a less mature DIH. The EDIH and then all the entities that will work with the EDIH and will benefit from the EDIH. We learn from specialists in HPC, cybersecurity, AI, and they will have access to advanced trainings. And they will also use the new solutions developed by the key technologies that will be developed under DEP. So I'm almost finished my presentation. Here I just want to explain you, so what are the next steps, where we are now in this process and what are the next steps. So now we are still waiting for the agreement of the MFF, that we are expecting to have the agreement now by mid of November. Then at the beginning of December, we requested to the member states to receive the list of the candidates EDIH from the member states. So as I explained before, only this EDIH that will be designated by the member states will be able to participate in the open calls from the Commission for next year. Then by mid of December, we expect to have the adoption of the DEP program regulation. And in January, we will launch the first restricted call at the end of January. And in January, we will organize a networking event for the designated EDIH. So that we will invite the designated EDIH that will come from the list that we will receive from the member states. That's why we are asking the member states to provide this data now in December. The deadline for the first restricted call that it will open at the end of January, the deadline it will be end of April. And then in December, we are planning to open a second restricted call to allow the consortiums that submit the proposal on the first call and didn't reach the threshold or were not selected to submit a proposal with a better quality to be able then to be selected on the second call. So with this, I finish my presentation. I leave here some links that could be very useful if you want to find more information. And of course, that I'm available for all the questions that you might have. So I think you can leave all the questions in the chat. Sergio, so I finish. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Helena. Then the next speaker is Giovanna Galasso. I invite her to share a screen. And I will read her motto for this speech. Artificial intelligence is one of the most key drivers of economic growth and innovation. Digital innovation hubs in the EU play a fundamental role in fostering the uptake and implementation of AI solutions and applications by different actors, including industry, especially SMEs, mid-caps and startups, and public administrations. In this context, the ultimate of the AI DIH network project has been to connect and make cross-border collaboration happen between hubs located throughout Europe with the aim of exploiting synergies and complementarities. Collaboration shall be supported by the Federation of Interoperable Platforms at the regional European level. Giovanna, the floor is yours.
Good morning to you all. Can you hear me?
Perfect, go ahead.
Okay, thank you. So I suppose that most of you have already heard of this project. This was a project launched by the European Commission DG Connect. It was a procurement, not an Horizon 2020 project to create a European network of 30 digital innovation hubs with the focus on AI through a dedicated coaching and mentoring program, the signing of a multilateral framework cooperation agreement, and the final aim of this project was to develop a blueprint for cross-border collaboration and supporting measure and policy recommendation for enhancing collaboration. The project was launched in September 2008 and formally ended in April 2020, but I will also speak about the activities that has been done and after it and the next step. You find some output of the project in the blueprint for cross-border collaboration, which is that you can download by the project website. A long report on policy recommendation has been drafted, but it has not still published by DC. Main achievement. First of all, we started the setup of a network of hubs. The need from the Commission was 3 years ago really to understand the state of the art of digital innovation hub in artificial intelligence in Europe. So the main outcome was that we collected 150 applications from around 30 countries. And although we selected only 30, it was a huge amount of information by for the Commission that we summarized and provided. This is the geographical coverage of the network. With these hubs, we carried out a coaching and mentoring program, I would say a structured one, because we started from the analysis of their business models and services and organized several workshops face-to-face to identify strategies and scenarios for collaboration. For each scenario, so we had analyzed the cost and benefit of cooperation scenarios, as well as the funding and financing aspect and the legal aspect of the collaborations. Then we also assessed the feasibility with on-site visit of such scenarios and signed a cooperation agreement among the apps. We also set up an AI maturity assessment collaboration pilot project. I will tell you something about that. As well as we co-drafted together the policy recommendation and the blueprint. Another main achievement of the project was that the Commission asked us also to
Hello?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, yes. And
Okay,
we lost
perfect.
Giovanna, unfortunately.
Yes, I guess that the issue was on her side.
Yeah. So we will go with Angelo, and then we will try to reconnect with Giovanna. So Angelo will present the EBD Innovation Action and the DIH platform. The EBD Manufacturing Industry Digital Innovation Hubs I4MS Phase 3 Innovation Action includes a network of manufacturing digital innovation hubs where new methods and tools for DIH management and governance have been tested and experimented. Among them, the DIH platform supports DIH to build and manage knowledge in an innovative way, acting as an honest brokering gateway to access a wide set of services through a collaborative environment, where providers and consumers of digital technologies could exchange knowledge and assets and boost collaborative innovation. Angelo, the floor is yours.
Yes, hello everyone. Thanks, Sergio. I'm Angelo Marguglio from Engineering Informatica, and I will present you briefly the EBD Innovation Action. It is an 2020 project that has been just concluded. And then one of the most relevant results that is the DIH platform, that is an IT platform completely developed by engineering, and also is the underlying platform that is supporting the DIH4INDUSTRY initiative that has been already mentioned by Sergio. So first of all, EBD is a manufacturing industry digital innovation hubs is the full title of the project, and is mainly aimed to realizing services and digital solution to support ICT innovation, digital transformation pathway for the manufacturing SMEs. It's part of the I4MS Phase 3 cluster project started back in 2017, and as it just concluded a few days ago, and was coordinated by IT Digital. And probably the most important aspects that characterize this project, that already 3 years ago we started with idea, even more if we think that this idea was being already in the proposal, that the central element that can really help manufacturing SME to master the complexity and the variety of solutions that are already available in the market, but also in different innovation activities regarding digital solution, digital technology for CPS and IoT, was the DIH. And the power of the DIH is not only its ability to work in its own ecosystem, but really the ability to create networking capability and create an ecosystem of other DIH in order to share experiences, and is perfectly aligned on what Elena has just presented with the concept of the European Digital Innovation Hub. So we started with this idea to create a consortium and then a network of digital innovation hubs, several technology providers, and we built our solution has been also thanks to the validation of different experiments, 3 lighthouse projects within our consortium, but also 32 external projects in 2 waves of open calls. So the most important aspect of the project, as mentioned, is the consortium, the network that is already there. We started with this setup. We identified some competence centers, didactic factories, regional manufacturing digital innovation hubs, and 3 pan-European digital innovation hubs networks. But going more in detail on what we have, as you can see, the competence center cover mainly skills coming from the CPS, IoT, and also cybersecurity aspects. Since you know, also in the I4MS Phase 2, there were also other projects dealing with other specific technologies. So we are just really focused on this main technology pillar. Then we have 2 didactic factory, Politecnico Milano and Novalia in Spain, 2 regional manufacturing, DIH Manufacturing Research Center and the DIH4INDUSTRY, and 3 pan-European digital innovation networks, namely the Faber Foundation, International Data Space Association, and the IT Digital that, as mentioned, was also the project coordinator. I4MS Phase 3, we were 4 projects. Most of them are already concluded, but some of them are still running. But as Sergio already mentioned, we started also I4MS Phase 4, and iRegio is in some way the continuation of MIDI in Phase 4. And we also, there are some partners in common between the 2 consortium, and we also relying on some technology solution and achievement reached in MIDI that are now the best components that we're going to exploit in iRegio. And the main pillars that we have used to build our solution in MIDI are the 3 that you can see in the slide. So the ecosystem of DIH and Competence Center, the DIH collaboration platform, and a set of open source digital solution also integrated in a digital manufacturing platform, completely open and based on open standard. But as you can imagine, my talk will be mainly related to the DIH collaboration platform. That is the DWORD platform. This is intended to support collaboration and innovation in the DIH ecosystems. So yeah, we foresee different levels of collaboration. One can be internal to each DIH. Another level can be in the collaboration between DIHs in the DIH network and the ecosystem, but also within different clusters and ecosystem, also dealing with different technologies. So even this 3 level is something that can be easily used if you rely on the same IT tools for doing that. So the main vision is that we have to master a complexity and a variety of solutions and technologies and skills and expertise that has to be combined. And all of them form knowledge, experience, solutions. So obviously we need also some matchmaking and marketplace functionalities, but all of them have to support the vortex, to define new innovation, to support digital transformation journey, and to foster the collaboration of the SMEs, but also the collaboration, as mentioned, between the Digital Innovation Hub, especially in building collaborative services for the ecosystem. The DWORD is an IT tool that is designed and implemented to solve all these challenges. So we identify 4 main areas, 4 main pillars for developing these functions. So one is probably the knowledge management in order to provide one central location for dealing with those needs, formalized, structured and unstructured knowledge. Then we have a catalog management where we realize that the dynamicity of the information of this, we have to collect, visualize, and share also with an open API framework is absolutely crucial, especially when we have to deal with brownfield and greenfield integration with the other external portal like EF portal, IoT catalog, and so on. Then we have a specific pillar to support the innovation and collaboration ideation phase, and then an open data space to support some of the building blocks used to build data space. And obviously in DIH ecosystem, in a network DIH is another aspect. It's not only technology, data, and skills, but there are several dimensions that have to be fostered by the DIH. So the main challenge that we want to solve is support, connection, and networking. So the people is at the center of our activities, of our platform. We want to gain awareness. So all the provider, technology provider, methodology provider, or success story has to be designed in order to capture, curate, but also to share this continuous growth in terms of experience with the whole community. And the third pillar is intended to support the community itself. So how to nurture the community, how to provide new growth opportunities, new funding opportunities for the member of the community itself. Here has been developed but indeed has been already used and extended and adopted in different ecosystems. Some of them are still relying in other R&D initiatives. Some of them are in the manufacturing domain, like quality, as mentioned, high regio, also HubCap. Some of them are in the agri-food domain, like the Meter. But others are also some commercial exploitation with some DIH ecosystem in Italy, like Confindustria and Confapi. And we have also started some collaboration with the SAE initiatives and the Health Hub. But the main idea that is behind this large set of experiment and collaboration is intended to provide a continuous loop of requirement, development, improvement, and validation of this IT platform in order to discover which are really the needs that can come from this different kind of community, different way to conduct the DIH or the networking capabilities between the different DIH. The different technologies can also have a role in how this collaboration services has to be built. So every community, every new DIH ecosystem is something that can bring value. And all of these aspects has to be taken into account when we are developing the new features of the platform. But as mentioned, several powered by DIWER applications already exist. And one of these initiatives is the DIH4INDUSTRY marketplace. And this is intended to support digital innovation hub in Europe that are working in the manufacturing and digital industry domain. And we want to provide a European central hub to foster knowledge and services and assets that can really bring value for the DIH themselves. So for who has to provide this knowledge and services to the users, or to the SMEs. We have started following a methodological approach that's also been defined within MIDI and has been relied also on the DIH network and service categorization, but we also been extended by Politecnico Milano. And we are now identifying 5 main areas in order to characterize our assets and services. So starting from the ecosystem building, skills development, technology development and adoption, business opportunities, and data value chain. All of them can be combined through our platform, and we already have started in some way the deployment of these initiatives, starting from 5 initiatives that are already part of the DIH4INDUSTRY. So as mentioned, MIDI, as the DIH4INDUSTRY is the main exploitation vehicle of the MIDI project, but it's also in some way the starting point for the high regio project within the phase 4i for MS. But we also already other initiatives already joined the DIH4INDUSTRY, like the UpCap project for the CPS world, the IoT, and the Trinit project. It's absolutely an initiative that is growing up now. As Sergio mentioned, is in some way today is the official launch of this initiative. So all the figures and facts, it's something that is really improving day by day. So we have at the moment 45 DIH, more than 50 experiments, 20 assets, and more than 50 services. But we are still already in the process of populating with already selected initiatives, but we already started some discussion also with more and more initiatives. So we plan to reach, I would say, a wide audience of DIH, and then also to experiment in the SME or the communities behind this DIH. So here you can see some screenshot. You can also find in the slide the URL of the website, since it's already alive. We have not yet started the registration process, since we want that all the initiatives that already joined the platform are able to conclude this population phase, but we will open the registration to external users very soon. And I don't know, Sergio, I can also make a quick demo on the platform. Probably it's easier than just using the slides, if that's fine with you.
Yeah.
Yes, I can do it very quickly. I mean, here is the platform. Is characterized by the top space where you can find the different maps for the DIH, for the experiments, and also the list of the initiatives. So obviously, I mean, you know, there are a lot of initiatives that are already collecting DIH, and the really added value from our side is try to create this network on the DIH that are really fostering an initiative in the smart manufacturing, smart industry domain. So you will be easily browse all the initiatives that are behind this network. You can go more in detail on each DIH. You can go then also in all the full details and contacts of this DIH. The same can be done for the experiment. You will have an overall overview of all the experiments that are conveyed through the platform, and then you can drill down on the different experiment, and again you will get in contact with all the benefits and business aspect, material, video, and any kind of knowledge that can be used to learn more about the experiment. Then, as mentioned, we have the list of the initiatives. For the moment, there are only 5, but we are improving. And for all of them, you will find the details, the contacts, obviously the website, the different DIH that are part of the network, and so on and so forth. And you can also reach the different communities that are behind them. For instance, in case of MED, obviously is one of the most advanced project in this initiative, since it is one, the project that is initiated is initiative indeed. And you will find here the list of all the assets, technologies and services that can be used to support the 5 dimensions that I was mentioning in the slide. So the ecosystem, the technology, the business, the collaboration, and so on and so forth. And for each of them, obviously, you can go deeply in detail in order to have all the details, all the information that are needed for all these assets. So I will switch back on the presentation just to conclude. So you will find in the presentation that will be made available also my content, and I will be fully available for both the questions we have time by the end of today, or also offline. So thanks, Sergio, and thanks everyone.
Okay, thank you very much, Angelo. Shall we try with Giovanna again?
Can you hear me now?
Yes, yes, yes.
What did you listen some slide?
Yes, but it's better that you try to condense your presentation in 5 minutes if you can.
Okay, so I will. So I suppose. So I think probably it's better to focus on our main achievement. Within the DIH network, if you want to evaluate. Okay, so can you hear it now? Can you see now?
Fine.
Okay, within the AIDH network, if you want to have a look at the result, please have a look at our website, and also at the blueprint on cross-border collaboration that we've published. And when the final report will be published again, it is a plenty of content. First, one of the first achievements, apart from set up a first network of AI digital innovation apps, we worked a lot on the definition of a profile of IDIH network working in the field of artificial intelligence. This is this description is in the blueprint, and we really think that it's useful for the hubs that will need to describe their services, also for the application for the DEP call. We described in depth the service offering, the competencies, the operating model. Also the focus that the hubs also should have in terms of testing and validation services, including ethical AI certification, as well as the AI digital innovation hubs should also have a role in implementing ethically technology technologies in public services and SMEs. Another focus in the blueprint, you also find the scenarios for cross-border collaboration, well described in terms of risk and benefits and the cost, but also from a legal point of view, because this is an area that, as most of you work only in, most of all in EU-funded project, maybe the legal aspect is less taken in consideration, instead is fundamental. We signed a framework collaboration agreement among the 25 digital innovation hub. This was focused during the project running. At the end of the project, rotating presidencies is foreseen, which is now is coordinated by DGO for France, while PwC at its own investment is providing a support to this network with technical secretarial support. During the AI Digital Innovation Hub network, another achievement was to work on a pilot project on AI maturity assessment. This is a need of collaboration for all the Digital Innovation Hub in artificial intelligence. The slide will be uploaded, so you can see how we proceed. We identified a collaboration opportunity. We worked with some selected hub in mapping and discussing the AI maturity assessment already offered by the Digital Innovation Hub involved. We identified the pilot leader, the Munich Innovation Hub for Artificial Intelligence, and worked with a selecting group of hub on 4 streams of activities: settlement of legal issues, validation of a shared framework, identification of technical solutions, and development of a data model. Can you hear me? Can you still hear me?
Yes,
okay,
yes,
sorry. This restricting working group of Digital Innovation Hub continued to collaborate and develop the tool after the end of the collaboration pilot, and a new webinar will be held in the second half of November to update the network. Here you can see the success factors and the key obstacles. Success factors: strong interest of participants, robust project management, but unfortunately only large organizations can ensure their involvement where there is a lack of resources. Current activity of the networks: we are carrying out brainstorming session on potential collaboration activities in the field of artificial intelligence to be eventually implemented by hub involved in the network if finally selected as European Digital Innovation Hubs. We have been organizing a webinar in collaboration with European Space Agency on Earth observation data and artificial intelligence. We are also organizing a cycle of peer learning and best practice exchange webinars running between November and December 2020. And also we will have at the end of the year an appointment to update on both the DEP but also the hubs. We will understand which are the hubs selected under the DEP. These are possible areas for future collaboration that has been already identified by these hubs in artificial intelligence, part of the network if selected as European Digital Innovation Hub. Mostly joint provision of training services on AI-related topics, development of the maturity assessment model, because they would like to work on the achievement of the pilot initiative launched within the DIH network project, but also sharing of AI data and technical infrastructure for experimentation. the most important thing is that at the end, the DIH network had a lot of achievement, but at the end of the project, an outcome of the DIH network was that clearly emerged the need for fostering a synergy by linking the DIH network and the AI4EU platform, because the AI4EU platform has a wide AI ecosystem mainly focused on research and industry, but not very linked to DIH. So we work together, and the Polytechnic of Milan put together a new project called DIH4AI. This DIH4AI aims at building a networking digital innovation hub driven AI on-demand regional platform by linking them to the European AI toolbox and experimental facility, and support the joint development and provision of cross-border services. The IDIH will leverage on the methodological framework for cross-DIH collaboration developed in the IDIH network initiative. Of course, we are also part of this project, but in this project we are also several DIHs already more advanced in Europe in the artificial intelligence, already included in the previous project. So this project will start in January 2021 and will be the perfect follow-up of the initial network. I'm sorry for the connection problem, but I'm also able to give to comment and answer if people have questions.
Okay, thank you so much, Giovanna. So now our last speaker is Sabine, and she is presenting the Smart Anything Everywhere initiative, and she the fundamental question: how to best support European SMEs and mid-caps in their digital transformation. The project within the Smart Anything Everywhere initiative aim to make innovative technologies available via European digital innovation hubs and the supply funding for European SMEs and mid-caps in all industry areas to successfully embark on the journey of digital transformation. Sabine, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Sergio. Thanks also to my previous speakers. They have already discussed a lot of what of the issues that I'm going to take up as well. So there's quite some aspects that you have already heard, which is a good thing also, because in terms of timing. So I'm giving you some information on the Smart Anything Everywhere initiatives. And as you already heard from Helena as well, and Sergio, the strategy behind is the Digitizing European Industry Initiative. So the main aim back then was to ensure that everybody, no matter where they're located in Europe, was able to benefit from these digital innovations. And we already heard as well that there were two major initiatives established to support this, which was the I4MS initiative and the Smart Anything Everywhere. We already heard too that one major factor in this was the digital innovation hubs, where the idea was to supply technology support from a broad range of fields to enable companies, and especially SMEs all over Europe, to actually source from those digital know-how that's there in Europe. And as you all know, the challenge here is mainly for technology companies to cross this valley of death in actually becoming sustainable with a new technology, and also to find users to being able to utilize those new technologies. So this was the major aim of those both initiatives, and also the whole digitizing European industry program. Now the Smart Anything Everywhere initiative was kicked off in 2015 and is now in its third phase with 6 projects aiming to exactly do that, supplying SMEs and small companies with technology expertise on digitalization. Here we see the projects that are funded there, and I will tell you later on how you can get more information on what's in these for you in these projects. In Smart Anything Everywhere, there's a focus on 4 technology issues. The one is cyber, physical, and embedded systems. The second one is customized low energy computing, flexible, wearable, and organic electronics being the third one. And the fourth one is a cross-cutting issue called widening digital innovation hubs, which aims to increase the networking and the scope to those countries that have not yet established many digital innovation hubs. If we are looking a little bit closer and on the support that is given through the Smart Anything Everywhere initiative, there's a support action underpinning those projects that I have briefly shown already, and the idea is to supply enabling services. I'll show you later the Innovation Portal that's there, where you can find information and support. The second aim is to grow the ecosystem, both in terms of SMEs and mid-caps, but also in terms of outreach to digital innovation hubs. And the third one is sustaining the network. We already heard something on that already too. So a major issue is how can we make this network of digital innovation hubs sustainable beyond the project support from the European Commission, or also from national public funding. And this is an issue that we need to tackle on the European level in the coming years. Only then we'll be able to, in a sustainable way, support companies with the technologies that are available in these digital innovation hubs. So I told you already that there's the Smart Anything Everywhere Innovation Portal. And here on the left-hand side, you can see a map, which is quite similar to the MIDI-Hub actually, where you can find the digital innovation hubs in the projects under the Smart Anything Everywhere initiative and the related area of expertise. So here too, very easily you can go into this map and check for relevant technologies that you're looking for. So this also is worth having a look at if you as a company or also another digital innovation hub are interested in finding out where you can find technologies that you're looking for. And also even probably more important for SMEs that are looking for funding, you can find on this portal the open calls issued by the projects under the Smart Anything Everywhere initiative. So here you can very easily identify which calls for funding are open at the moment, and which projects are supplying this funding. So at the moment, for example, there's 3 calls that are open, which is, for example, the DigiFed call on cyber, physical, and embedded system. Also, HubCap has a similar technology area, and Smarties is in the field of organic and large area electronics. Also in January, the Smart for All call will open on customized low energy computing. And it's really worth having a look at this website regularly, because in 2021, there's more calls to come. And really the success of applications is quite good. For example, in the past DigiFed call, the success rate was 20%. So this is far better than a lot of other projects or programs that we have in Europe. So it's really worth checking out the SAE Innovation Portal or the other web links that you can see here. And I really think this is a very good and very relevant initiative, of course, together with the other activities that we see on the European level, to enable SMEs and mid-caps in Europe to really take stock of digital innovations and digital technologies that we have in Europe. So thanks a lot. That was all from my side, and I also welcome everybody to come back to me in case you want to have more or additional information on what I have just shown. So thank you, and thanks Sergio as well. Oh, sorry, and I'll give my screen back to you.
Okay, thank you, Sabine. Then, okay, I have just 1 minute to recap the findings in this session. First of all, a clarification. You have seen that in the Smart Anything Everywhere, you have seen a quite similar map of the digital innovation hubs of the projects which are shown there. The Smart Anything Everywhere innovation and collaboration platform is based on DigiWare. So we have the same platform. The point is that in Smart Anything Everywhere, you will have also projects not dealing with manufacturing industry and experiments which are not dealing with manufacturing industry. In DIH4INDUSTRY, we are specifically for manufacturing. Anyway, the merging between I4MS, Smart Anything Everywhere, digital innovation hub and experiments in manufacturing is ongoing. And as Angelo said, this is the link to the DIH4INDUSTRY platform. At the moment, the registration mechanism is still under development, but in a few days it will be available for you to join. And our motto now at the end of this session is an invitation for you all to join the DIH4INDUSTRY Innovation and Collaboration Platform. And this will, of course, be the most important, in my opinion, bridge between Horizon 2020 and the next multi-annual financial framework program of the Commission, in particular the Digital Europe program and the European Digital Innovation Hubs. Thank you so much for your attention. Here you are, you have my email address, and please don't hesitate to contact me. And I thank you so much the panelists and Sylvia who made this connection available, and all the attendees. And see you next time in DIH4INDUSTRY.
Thank you, Sergio.
Okay,
Thank you.
Thank you.
You can
Bye.
stop.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Perfect. Thank you. Bye-bye.